YouTube. All right, guys. Armand is here for E equals MCU with the daily news or the daily word on the streets and these internet streets. And I'm driving, so bear with me as usual. All right, guys. What we're gonna go over today is the article. I saw it in the direct. The article about the X-Men writers and just some quick information on that. There were some things that was said in the article that I wanted to actually read so I can get it verbatim to talk about, but I can't do that unless I bring my iPad. Like, I have to be able to have that information on my iPad and then in order, because I'm on my phone going live. So apologies, I'm gonna get this all screwed up and all wrong. I'm kind of gonna just have to summarize it. So in case you did not know, the X-Men reboot has been confirmed to be first out of the gate. Okay, so we're getting X-Men reboot in 2028 right now, tentatively. So that'll be like 6 months after Secret Wars in 2027. We'll get the X-Men reboot, and we're going to have Jake Schreier as the director, and of course, if you know, he was the director of Thunderbolts. A couple of things just on that front of it. Jake Schreier did a great job with Thunderbolts, but it was not grandiose, especially like in a way where you could see Destin Daniel Cretton with Shang-Chi, and now with him doing Spider-Man, you kind of can see the tonality change, but you can also kind of see, especially when it comes to doing action, he knows what he's doing. He's got Jackie Chan's stunt team or whatnot that he works with, and they kill it, man. They do a really good job. Thunderbolts was, it left some meat on the bone, I'll say. And while I would like a sequel, and I actually wish they would just call themselves the Thunderbolts and not the New Avengers with a Z. I would like them to just be the Thunderbolts, but I don't know if they're getting a sequel, because what seems to happen is, to me, it's telling if Kevin Feige pulls you off of the project that you were on and puts you on a different project. So it's like, we like working with you, we like your talent, we like what you guys do, but we want you to do this instead. That to me is a red flag that whatever you were working on previously probably will not get a sequel. And it remains to be seen. Like, I have not seen someone pulled off of their franchise and then that franchise just continues on without them while they do something else at Marvel. And correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody knows of an example, let me know. But Jake Schreier being pulled off Thunderbolts means Thunderbolts is probably done, or getting a third, because technically Black Widow is the first movie of that trilogy. It's really. So it's like she went from Black Widow to Thunderbolts, now to whatever else they do next. So he's going to be directing, and there were two writers that were hired previously on X-Men that have kind of started the production process and the scripting, and now they have brought in the two writers from the Thunderbolts, which I believe are two TV writers, or maybe it was the TV writers that were the ones that were hired first, because I remember when I heard that news, I was kind of like, what? But you know, it's whatever. TV is a different medium than film, but I don't think that means that you can't write both. But seeing how, like, if they're getting the Thunderbolts writers to write the X-Men, they already have experience with, you know, a kind of an ensemble cast, but it's way more X-Men than Thunderbolts. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. Like, when you setting up the mutant saga, your writers have got to shepherd the way and how everything is going to go down. So for even things that are not related to the X-Men, or actually, you know, have anything to do with the X-Men. If it's gonna be in the mutant saga, it still has to have some sort of significance or like direction. So in my opinion, getting the writers for the X-Men is the most important hire maybe of the next 5 years. And I have solace knowing that the Russo brothers are supposed to be the ones who are really shepherding this. So maybe it doesn't, that's why it's not a big deal, but it's still, the writers it's kind of like we'll see. Like I wasn't that impressed with the Thunderbolts to where like now I'm excited that they're doing the X-Men. It's not like that, but I know that they could prove you wrong at the same time. It's like Thunderbolts was not a bad movie. They did a good job with that. So we'll see. The other thing that has me kind of concerned about the article and what it said was that Jake Schreier alluded to, focusing on making a great X-Men movie, but always having your eye for what's coming down the pike or what you want to lay out or have down the line. And I agree with that statement. It's a very PC statement, especially for creators who have to work with Marvel, because they all should be like 101. Like that's a no-brainer. So yeah, you want them to have a vision and have a setup. And saying that, and the article went on to say that they were going to try to do something different with the material that's already been out there, different take on it, and they compared it to what the Spider-Man Homecoming team did with the Spider-Man Home trilogy, really, and how it was very much Spider-Man, but very much a different take on Spider-Man. And it sounds like that's what they're doing with X-Men. And that's the part as an X-Men fan that worries me. Just and it's probably the same, because like when they did that with Spider-Man, there are a lot of Spider-Man fanatics that were not happy with the changes that were made. I am not a Spider-Man fanatic like that, so it did not bother me. And I liked how they handled Spider-Man being in the UI. I thought the decisions they made were great. So that's why you're trusting in the process with this whole thing. So I thought it was fine. If that's what they want to do with the X-Men, that does lead me to believe that we are probably getting another Phoenix Saga, and it'll probably be the Phoenix Saga after the Mutant Saga. So they'll probably do 4 or 5 movies before they really get into the whole Phoenix of it all. But they're going, and it's not. And let me just say this too. Sony had previously did a pretty good job with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and even with Andrew Garfield to an extent, to make it where when you did Tom Holland's Spider-Man, you needed a different, fresh take on how you were going to pull that off. So okay, but with the X-Men, they fumbled the Phoenix Saga twice, so it shouldn't really be hard to do. If they just did a comic accurate Phoenix Saga, it's already going to be fresh and different from what was done at Fox. You know what I mean? Like Fox messed it up so bad, you almost wouldn't even relate it to the Phoenix Saga. So it's like, to me, they don't really have to do too much out of the box, but just stick to the script. Give us the Shi'ar and the whole story. But it does sound like they're going to go and do Mr. Sinister first, which I'm actually glad that they do, because we've kind of gotten the other villains previously. So that's the part where he's saying we're going to try a different take. All right, let's get Mr. Sinister in there. But we all know, like, once you do Mr. Sinister, and like they're doing with X-Men 97, you kind of know where that's going. So they'll just kind of do it in reverse, Mr. Sinister, and then that brings in Cable. That helps you set up Apocalypse correctly. That helps you, if they want to do Goblin Queen again and Madeline Pryor or whatever, they can do that. There's a lot of way to go with that before you even come around to Magneto. Like they were saying, Magneto might be a protagonist at first and then turn into an antagonist. And it's like, okay, I could even see that, because that'll have a big turn. I think that what I would like to see is that at least for a 9-movie trilogy, or 3 trilogies for 9 movies, I would like to see Mr. Sinister kind of be the big bad of the first trilogy. Or actually, Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse be the first trilogy, and then the second one they can kind of go into like deeper cut stuff, and then do the Phoenix Saga, and then the third one, have Magneto and the Brotherhood the mutants kind of maybe turn on them or something. Something in that. We're probably going to expedite that and not do 9 movies of that, but I'd like to see us at least get those villains, out the gate, out the way especially before we start changing up the team. Like when they announce the roster, when they officially announce the roster, that's going to be very telling for me, because I kind of know what to expect. But I want the core X-Men and stuff. I want their stories and everything first, and then we can get into the sunspots and if you want to do the X Factor and Havoc and Polaris and all of that kind of stuff. Like I hope that they don't, in wanting to do something different, just skip. I hope they remember as X-Men fans that we have not gotten what we would call a correct X-Men movie or team. So I hope they don't skip that point just because of the name it's been done. So that's how I feel about it. Let me know down in the comment section if you feel any type of way. And until tomorrow, peace.